We're 24 hours away from alert day conditions for southern Wisconsin. Coming up, I'll use Future Trek to show you when these storms may be moving through your neighborhood tomorrow afternoon.
Legal action is taken regarding the Waupun prison, why it's now connected to a federal civil rights lawsuit.
And the UW Whitewater baseball team with its sights set on a national title. We'll tell you how they did in their game today. They try to move into the championship series.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Thanks for staying with us at 5, everybody. We begin with that alert day forecast for tomorrow. Today's hot and muggy weather is adding fuel to what could potentially be some serious storms.
There's Alex in studio with what we can expect.
Yes, as long as we have that heat and that humidity building in as we go into Tuesday, we're expecting that line of thunderstorms to move through between 3 p.m. and 11 p.m. on Tuesday, with strong winds being the main threat on the leading edge of this line of thunderstorms. And while we can't rule out hail and the possibility of a brief spin-up tornado, those are on the lower end of the severe weather threats, which is certainly good news. We don't need any severe weather regardless, but damaging winds will be the main threat Tuesday afternoon going on into Tuesday evening. And first, to show you some good amounts of water expected with this shower and thunderstorm activity. So that's certainly a thumbs up and a plus, a widespread ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch, with some places possibly picking up an inch of water, which would be certainly beneficial, especially for our friends down towards the Wisconsin-Illinois border that are still dealing with moderate drought conditions. And when we look at our live Queen Bee radio sky cam showing you the weather in southern Wisconsin, that ominous sky that you see there, that's not a thunderstorm right now. That's that milky white haze from that wildfire smoke coming up in Maine weather. I'll also let you know how these showers and thunderstorms will temporarily, I'll underline that, get rid of our smoky conditions. That's coming up in just a couple moments.
All right, Alex, thank you. There's something to bark about as the Madison pet food store moves into some new digs.
Our Kyle Pazorski shares the reason why and what the new locations will offer.
We've had cats, we've had miniature horses, monkeys, birds, snakes, you name it.
And now animals of all strides are being welcomed to a pair of fresh locations of the locally owned Mounds Pet Food Warehouse. The company's locations in Fitchburg and Middleton are now closed, moving and combining operations to a space off Junction Road near the far west side Target.
That brings a lot of people, and they can just walk right on over to Mounds and do their shopping there for their pets and bring their pets in.
Along with this, a third location on Stoughton Road is packing up, heading for a spot off Leon Road near Easttown Mall later this summer.
We're looking at a doggy daycare, potentially offering grooming.
Company President Katie Van Altena says the moves are designed to provide a fresh start as the leases for the former stores have come up. Already, the feedback following Sunday's opening of Junction Road was positive.
And the reception from the public was wonderful. We had over 500 people walk through those doors and be so positive and supportive of our move and our new location and what the store looks like and what it can offer. So that was a great feeling to be here yesterday.
Now, for the time being, the location on Stoughton Road is still welcoming in customers before it closes for good this July. The new replacement East Side store will open in August.
We really wanted to start fresh and new and be more convenient to people.
In Madison, Kyle Pazorski, News 3 Now.
Kyle, thank you. The company is planning a grand opening event at both new stores on the east and west sides sometime in early September.
A federal civil rights lawsuit has been filed connected to the 8th reported death at Waupun Prison. The suit alleges former warden Randall Hepp and ex-security director Jana Pusik ignored rampant drug smuggling by staff and failed to protect Joshua Butwinski. Lawyers say Butwinski struggled with addiction and mental illness and died from a fentanyl overdose in January of 2023. The U.S. Department of Justice is now probing corruption at the facility where staff have been fired or resigned amid smuggling allegations.
The Iowa County Sheriff's Office says a motorcyclist is hurt after a crash in the town of Clyde. Deputies say the crash happened yesterday afternoon on Clyde Road, south of Lone Rock, just before 2. It's unclear what led to the accident, but the rider was taken by UW Medflight to a Madison hospital. The driver's condition is also currently unknown. The nurses' strike at Meriter Hospital is over. After 5 days on the picket line, nurses returned to work yesterday morning. The new 2-year contract includes safety improvements and an 8% pay raise. Union leaders say contract language and staffing input were key to reaching a deal. Meritor calls the agreement a win for patients and nurses. With more on what sealed the deal, join us tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Free summer meals are once again available to children and teens across Wisconsin. The State Department of Public Instruction is partnering with local organizations to offer healthy meals through the Summer Food Service Program. Over 900 sites statewide are expected to serve more than 3 million meals this summer. The program opened to all kids 18 and under in eligible areas with no registration or paperwork required. To find a nearby meal site, call 211 or simply visit the USDA's Summer Meals Site Finder. Middle-aged women with a regular coffee habit could be setting themselves up to live longer and healthier. The study looked at women in their 50s who drank 1 to 3 cups of caffeinated coffee a day. It found they were more likely to reach older age free from major chronic diseases and with good cognitive, physical, and mental health. The conclusions are based on dietary data from more than 47,000 women who were part of the Nurses' Health Study. The researchers plan to submit the study for peer review in the coming months.
As more of us head outdoors now that it's June, the Department of Natural Resources is reminding everybody to help prevent the spread of invasive species. And here are a couple of tips from the DNR. Stay on designated trails to avoid moving seeds and plants to new areas. Clean all of your boats and gear after you use them to stop aquatic invasives, and follow firewood rules when camping to prevent the spread of pests like the emerald ash borer. For more tips and rules, visit the dnr.wisconsin.gov.
Well, last month, devastating tornadoes ripped through the communities of Juneau and Mayville, and we spoke with Schwant family farmers about the major damage their farm in Juneau sustained, with machinery mangled and grain silos flattened. Now a fundraiser is being held through the Tractor Supply Company in Waupun on Saturday the 14th. People can donate in person or by phone, mail, or a GoFundMe. The GoFundMe has already raised about $8,500.
The UW Whitewater baseball team is just 2 wins away from a national championship after a dominant 17-4 victory over Rowan University. The Warhawks overcame an early deficit, then broke the game open with a huge 7th and 8th inning, including a 3-run homer by Sam Payden. Whitewater will now face Messiah University in a best-of-3 series starting Wednesday for the national title.
Monona Terrace invited the community back to its Concerts on the Rooftop this summer. It starts this Thursday, 5:30, offers guests a chance to enjoy live music with the backdrop of Lake Monona and downtown Madison. This Thursday, local group Wheelhouse will kick off the season with Americana and bluegrass music. Each of the events is free and open to the public. Check out channel3000.com for dates and performers.
Well, last night, much of the state of Wisconsin, other parts of the country too, were able to view the northern lights. It was one of the best chances this year, but wildfire smoke that Alex has been talking about so much blocked the view for many. Tonight, there is still another possibility to see them. For the best chance, head to a dark area away from city lights and use a cell phone camera for the best view.
And still to come, Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington joins us once again. A complete look at your first warn forecast.
And what police are saying after shots are fired outside of a FedEx facility outside of Milwaukee. That's just ahead.
On Wall Street, the Dow marginal gains adding 35. The Nasdaq with a strong 129-point surge. The S&P 500 adds 24.25. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Police in Menominee Falls are looking for a person who fled on foot from a FedEx facility after firing a gun. Officers say there appeared to be a fight outside of the facility at around 4 yesterday morning. No one was hit, but one person suffered minor injuries. Police do know the suspect, but they're asking for additional information from the public.
A live look right now in downtown Milwaukee. We're just northwest of this area here. 37 people have been displaced from 2 apartment fires. The first broke out yesterday morning about 2 near Timmerman Airport. Officials say no injuries. It did displace 14 people, however. The second one happened about noon south of McGovern Park. No injuries in that fire either, but 23 are without a home. Officials are investigating the cause of both of those fires. We have an alert day in the forecast for tomorrow. Hot one today. Could fuel those storms tomorrow. Alex is back with more details.
Alex, you're up.
He's just working so hard. He's got his head in his mouth.
So dedicated.
I'll tell you one thing, it tells you he's not paying attention to us. He doesn't care what we say.
That's the first time that's ever happened. I just got off the radio at WCLO. We have an issue with one of our computers back there. But yes, let's get into our alert day conditions. That 24 hours from now, we'll be starting to break out across southern Wisconsin. This line of thunderstorms Tuesday afternoon going on into Tuesday evening for all of southern Wisconsin. Let's track it together here using Future Track. That will be moving into southern Wisconsin as early as 12, maybe 1 o'clock up towards Juneau, Adams, Marquette, and Green Lake counties, with the main threat being strong damaging winds. Southwest Wisconsin right around 3 o'clock. Madison approaching that 5, 6 o'clock time frame. Then as we carry forth through the rest of the evening, the strong storm chance ends at about 11 o'clock, but we'll see this overriding showers and a couple rumbles of thunder lasting into the overnight hours going on from Tuesday, going on into Wednesday morning in areas that really need that water too, which will be along the Wisconsin-Illinois border. Again, we see that orange moderate wind is the primary threat with this line of thunderstorms. Can't rule out a little bit of hail. We can't rule out a brief spin up, but I think those threats are pretty low. The flooding risk is low too because we have overall dry conditions. Got a good ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch of water on the way with this weather system, and in areas that really need it along the Wisconsin-Illinois border. Fingers crossed here for you that this projection continues with upwards of 1 inch of water for areas stretching from Monroe over to Janesville over towards the Elkhorn area. We have a level 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather across all of southern Wisconsin, 2 out of 5 from Madison areas to the southwest. And what this really means is that we're looking at isolated to scattered thunderstorms reaching the potential for that strong to severe level as we go into the afternoon hours. So recap, lots of info there. 3 to 11 p.m. is that time frame, strong winds being the main threat. And here's a plus though as well. We got the rain, that's a plus, it's a thumbs up. Where you see all this orange going into Tuesday morning, that's that smoky, hazy stuff up in the upper atmosphere and some of it making it to the lower atmosphere down near the surface. Watch what happens here as we go into Tuesday afternoon. It stays and then it goes away. We see that blue. We briefly see the smoke go away because the rain pulls those smoke particles down to the ground. So we briefly will have things clearing out, at least from the smoke and wildfire perspective. But then that smoke may build back in as we go on into Wednesday. Tonight, low temperatures. This is not high temperatures. These are low temperatures in the upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. You might want to flip the AC on if you haven't already. And 80 Madison and points to the south and east, upper 60s to right around 70 north and west of Madison, where those showers and storms move in earlier. Right now, we got 84 degrees here in Madison, 84 to 90 degrees across southern Wisconsin. It's early June. We usually don't see this kind of weather till we get to July. We got 85 down the highway in Cross Plains and 83 to the east on I-94 in the Deerfield area. And as we plan our evening, if you aren't susceptible to the air quality issues with the smoky skies, you're going to have a warm evening. You're certainly going to want to maybe have some water if you're going to go out for a run this evening, with temperatures staying in the 70s as we approach the midnight hours. 70s still overnight tonight. And we stay mild for this time of year after this cold front comes through. Shower chances Thursday night going on into Friday, and then again later in the weekend before we warm up a little bit later in the week. We got some video from a visit that I did this weekend. Speaking of keeping busy, on Saturday I went out to Plain and talked about the infamous cyclone of 1918 that killed 8 on May 21st to Tuesday in 1918 in southwest Wisconsin. And using archive data, what I was able to discern, what I was able to find out is that 2 supercell thunderstorms likely merged just west of the Mississippi River in an environment that was perfect for long track supercell thunderstorms. That environment, warm, humid air, twisting winds with height, and the winds about high up above the ground were maximized over southwest Wisconsin. That allows that lift in the presence of a warm front. And you know I've talked about morning storms, but that warm front and morning storms likely caused added rotation in an atmosphere that was primed for this event. I want to thank the Old Franklin Historical Society Township for having me out to discuss the cause of the cyclone of 1918. It was a great opportunity.
All right, you look like a natural teacher there, Alex. Well done. Thank you. Madison rolling into Bike Week, celebrating its status as a platinum bicycle community. Platinum status, one of the highest levels of bike friendliness in the country, only held by 5 cities nationwide. 85 miles of off-street paths, over 157 miles of bike lanes in Madison, and city leaders say their efforts are transforming urban transportation, adding that their work is ongoing to continuing increasing accessibility and also safety.
We are working with the school district and also Wisconsin Bicycle Federation, developing a safe route to school plan. So right now, staff has been visiting schools and observing pickup, drop-offs, and taking notes on how things operate and how we can improve infrastructure to make walking and biking to school a safer and a more welcoming option.
Now, this year, Madison says it'll add 4.5 miles to its bike network.
Well, it's time to cast your vote for your favorite people, places, and things in the Madison area. Madison Magazine's Best of Madison final voting is now live. This year, there are 5 sections with 150 categories you can choose from. You cast 1 vote per category through June 30th. Last year, over 29,000 people voted, and the winners will be announced in the magazine's October issue. Find the full list of categories and cast your vote now at channel3000.com. Just click on the Best of Madison at the top of the page.
And still to come, why the president might be looking to calm trade tensions. We'll have the latest from the White House next at 5.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
A suspect accused of using a flamethrower against pro-Israel demonstrators appeared in Boulder court today in Colorado. Authorities say 45-year-old Mohammed Sabri Soliman hurled incendiary devices into the group and yelled, "Free Palestine." 12 people suffered injuries, some with serious burns. 2 remain hospitalized. Soliman faces 16 counts of attempted murder in the first degree and federal hate crime charges.
One person caught on fire from head to toe, and they were burning up. Their whole body was burning up, and a few others were also on fire.
Federal officials say Soliman told them he wanted all Zionist people to die and had no regrets about the attack. The Egyptian national arrived in the U.S. in 2022 on a visa that later expired. He researched how to make Molotov cocktails online after being unable to purchase a firearm. All victims are expected to recover.
Oil prices made a significant jump on Wall Street this morning. The rise comes after Ukraine's large-scale drone strikes deep inside Russia over the weekend. The attack is stoking geopolitical concerns. U.S. oil climbed nearly 3.5% to $62.85 a barrel. Brent crude, the world benchmark, jumped over 4.5% to $65.67 a barrel. It's the first time in months concerns about the Russia-Ukraine war have sharply lifted energy prices.
President Trump may be looking to avoid escalating trade tensions with China, one of America's biggest trading partners.
This comes as the European Union and Canada are promising retaliatory tariffs if the president follows through with a threat made late last week. Erica Brown has more from the White House.
President Trump is preparing for high-level trade talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping as the administration pushes new tariffs.
I can confirm that the 2 leaders will likely talk this week.
Both the U.S. and China have accused one another of violating a preliminary trade agreement reached in May.
I am confident that when President Trump and Party Chairman Xi have a call, that this will be ironed out.
This comes as the president doubled tariffs on steel and aluminum imports with the new 50% rate set to begin Wednesday. Trade partners, including the European Union and Canada, are promising retaliatory tariffs against the U.S. if Trump moves forward with the tax. The White House says it will not back down.
If we're not strong, then that's when bad things happen. So we have to show strength. We have to have a steel industry that's ready for American defense.
The president's sweeping tariffs are facing legal challenges. Monday, he called on the courts to uphold his authority to impose them, saying not having it would lead to the economic ruination of the United States of America. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Several states have sued the administration, saying the president misused a 1977 law that he applied to justify the new global tariffs. Court hearings are expected on the subject soon.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell was back in the spotlight today, speaking in Washington not long after a visit to the White House. Powell marked the 75th anniversary of the Fed's International Finance Division, praising its influence on key monetary policy decisions and its insight into global economic trends.
The division has devised new methods to measure and assess the effects of various types of uncertainty on economic activity. As we continue to navigate the current period of heightened uncertainty, this work is critical to understanding the quantitative implications of uncertainty shocks, certainly relevant today.
During last week's meeting, former President Trump criticized Fed Chair Jerome Powell, calling the Fed's decision not to cut interest rates a mistake hurting the economy. Powell responded by reaffirming the Fed's independence, saying any decisions on interest rates will be made through careful, objective, and non-political analysis. We'll have a final check on Alex's forecast. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Californians are still waiting for insurance payments for fire damage. Wait until you hear what the insurance company sent instead.
And Eye on America takes a close look at a South Carolina city with a hardball approach to downtown blight. Could it be a home run in other places? That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Coming up at the top of the hour, Unity Point Health Meritor nurses have a new deal after a week-long strike. What's in the deal and how this sets the stage for future negotiations? That story and more tonight. Join us for News 3 Now at 6.
But finally at 5, a final check on the weather and another sticky night.
Another warm night. If you don't have the AC on, I would consider flipping that AC on. Temperatures tonight are going to struggle to fall below 70 degrees, and that's that fuel for those storms tomorrow that we're tracking. Alert day conditions from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. tomorrow. Strong winds would be the main threat. We can't rule out some hail and a brief tornado spin-up, but the main threat is very likely going to be strong winds during that window of opportunity, especially if we can warm up and get temperatures into the 80s. Now, again, we don't need the severe weather. We'll take the rain. Here's the good stuff then. 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of water widespread. Areas that really need that water right now are along the Wisconsin-Illinois border, and the latest projections are showing a good solid inch for them. So fingers crossed that that projection holds true and we can get our friends down areas near the Wisconsin-Illinois border that water that they need. Some more shower chances too going into Wednesday morning, Thursday night and Friday, and again late in the weekend.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. Thanks for watching News 3 Now at 5. CBS Evening News is next. We'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6.